slow. Alright, keep going. Alright, you're good. Keep going.
Saw the money and got activated. Saw the money and got activated. Saw that money and got activated. I saw that money and got activated.
What is up, guys? Welcome back to another video. Today is the day that I have been waiting for forever, and you guys may or may not have been waiting for it as well. Today we are finally going to get our wheels and tires mounted. Hopefully, crossing my fingers that the shop that I've been told will mount them will actually mount them. I haven't called or anything because literally it's a block away from my house. So I'm just gonna load up the wheels and tires, take them up there, and kind of hopefully cross my fingers and hope that they will mount them. It is going to be a decent amount of stretch. These are I'll show you guys in a second, but they're 305/45 22s is what we're putting on it, and they're going on a 22x14. So that is a decent amount of stretch. I'm just hoping that they're willing to do it. I feel like it's not that difficult if you actually blow the bead on. For some reason, a lot of shops frown upon that because they're scared. I don't know why they'd be scared, but with that being said, we actually already have two of the wheels on the front of the truck, just because I wanted to see what it looked like. And it has like 325. I don't remember the other number, but they're 35s pretty much. They're like 1350. Yeah, they're like 13 wide 35s. So we put them on the front of the truck, and it looks sick, but they're huge. I would never be able to drive my truck like that. Plus, they're like mud tires, and you guys know that it's a two-wheel drive truck, so there's really no point to put a big set of knobby tires on it. I know I probably got a lot of your guys' hopes up by posting that picture with the knobby tires on the front. So people probably thought I was putting mud tires on it, but that's just not my style. So yeah, so pretty much this video is just going to be unfortunately it's raining, so we got our hoodie on, so we're gonna try and not get too wet and get these tires off the truck so we can run up there. Here's our 420s. They don't have a ton of tread, but they are in pretty good shape, considering we literally are driving this truck for a couple more months and then it's going to be stored for winter. These should last us plenty long enough, as long as I keep my foot out of the right pedal and, you know, don't do a lot of burnouts. We should be good to go. I'll go out here in the elements and expose myself so I can show you guys the wheels. So these is what we got. And these are like, the wheel's turned right now, so it's not, but she's pretty fat. The wheels are by no means perfect. That's just dirty, but these wheels are actually not perfect at all. They do have some imperfections and stuff. I honestly just got these to kind of figure out if I wanted to go with 24s or 22s. So this is kind of like, these wheels will honestly probably be more for storing the truck and like kind of like wheels we don't care about. So we'll probably keep these as a backup set or sell them in the future when we actually buy the wheels we want, which will probably be at the beginning of next summer. So not sure if I want 24s or 22s yet. I guess we'll find out once we get the tires mounted up and I drive it for a while. But yeah, like I said, these wheels aren't perfect, so like if you see the truck in person, you're like, dang, these wheels are like, that's why I just traded these for the 20s I had straight up. So literally traded straight up 22x14s for 22x12s. We definitely got way more out of those 20x12s I had. For some reason, for the life of me, I could not sell those wheels. I paid $2,300. This is no joke. I will post a picture of the receipt. I paid $2,300 for those wheels, just the wheels alone. I later learned that I kind of got screwed on them. I bought them brand new. I later found out I could have got them for a lot cheaper, but you know, you live and you learn. It is what it is. But I had $2,300 on those wheels, and I was trying to sell them for $1,000, brand new. Hardly, they probably have 1,000 miles on them, if that. Nobody would buy them. Literally, I could not sell them. So that guy finally hit me up and was like, "Hey, you want to trade?" I was like, "That's the best. That's the most I'm gonna." At that point, I was pretty much stuck with the wheels. Nobody would buy them. So I was like, "Yeah, I mean, that's the most I'm gonna get out of them. So I might as well trade them off for some 20x12s. Even if I have to get these fixed, I'll get my or 22 by 12 or 22 by 14s. Even if I have to fix these and put money in them, I can still get way more out of them than I would ever get out of the drop stars that I had. So enough with talking and explaining. I'm going to go out here, get the truck jacked up. Unfortunately, our jack stands are under the hard body, so things are going to get a little bit sketchy. But get these tires off, get them loaded up in the truck, and go figure out if we got some good news or bad news. So we got the tires mounted up, or not mounted up. We got them in the truck. It's actually kind of funny. I have 4 tires and 2 tires. We got 6 total in the bed. We got a tire here and a tire there. So if anyone wants to know, you can fit 8 tires and wheels in our Ford Ranger. All right, little update, guys. So far they said they're gonna do them, but we'll see once they try to actually put them on. I have a feeling they're gonna be like, oh fuck. But if they do them, then they got a lifetime customer, I'll tell you that. All right, guys, so a little bit of jump in time. So as I kind of predicted, they said they couldn't do they couldn't mount the tires because there was too much stretch. I couldn't really tell if the guy tried that hard, to be honest with you. I'm gonna say probably not. I feel like he tried, but once it escaped his aroma of you know, the basic tire putting on skills, I guess, he kind of just like didn't care after that. So I have a couple tricks up my sleeve. He left 2 of the wheels with the tires on it, so I'm gonna see if I can get them to kind of blow up onto the bead, and then go from there, I guess. I'll show you guys what I've got up my sleeve real quick. Went to Walmart, picked up a 20-inch bicycle tire and some starting fluid in case that doesn't go as planned. But the plan with this is to take this and put it around the bead, okay? Inflate it a little bit and then kind of push it down to seal that gap, and then inflate the wheel. I don't know if it'll go that easy. I don't know if we're gonna mix some starting fluid into those actions or not, but I'm gonna give it a shot. So I'm gonna put on the rim, not the tire, to kind of help the bicycle tire slide up. Usually you would use a paintbrush or something, but I'm just gonna use a rag because that's all I've got at the moment. Got the bicycle tire on. Got the valve stem right here. I'm gonna inflate it, see how it goes. All right, boys, the inner tube works. I think if we sat here and messed with it enough, it would work, but I'm getting impatient, so we're just gonna blow this thing up. I'm gonna try my best to set up the camera so that way if it does, you know, blow my arms off or something, we get it on video at least. jump in time because I got in a rush because I needed to hurry up and go back to the tire shop to have them pull the old tires off the wheels and put the 420s on the wheel so I could bring them home and stretch them on. We actually did get the one tire stretched on, and I will say it is extremely stretched, and there is a lip. And I didn't expect it to be that stretched. I guess it depends on the type of wheel on how stretched it looks. So without further ado, I'll show you guys my Hot Boy stretch tires. They are pretty stretched, but there's a reason why we're kind of testing things, figuring out, you know, what tires we want to run. That's why we're buying used stuff, because I would be pretty salty if I bought brand new wheels and tires and brand new tires and then this is what it looked like. So not permanent, but it'll be like that for a little while. Okay, so this is actually obviously a few days in a jump in time. I believe we were working on these Saturday. It is now Monday. Now, there's been a series of events that have happened, and I have a very good excuse for why I didn't film anything. So, I can't remember what the last clip you guys saw was. I want to say it was me getting on the first wheel. Got extremely cocky. I was like, wow, that was easy. Like, sure, it wasn't that hard, or that wasn't that easy, but it was not as hard as I expected it to be. So I'm like, okay, these other wheels are about to be cake. So I went and bought 3 more inner tubes. Okay, I get back. I start messing with the second one. I'm like, instead of being patient and working with the inner tube, I'm like, okay, what if I mix a little bit of starter fluid and inner tube and just blow it all up? So I'm like, okay. So I sat in there, tried to blow it up, didn't work. And then finally one time it just randomly just blew up, seated and everything. Well, the problem was it blew the inner tube like halfway off the rim. So like half the inner tube was in the lip of the wheel and half of it wasn't. So it stuck. So I had to cut it out. I'm like, okay, it seems to be good. It's still seated or whatever. Well, it started leaking. So it's leaking around the bead, which would be, hang on, let me show you. This wheel that happened on. Now, I don't know if the leak stopped or what, but this has been on the truck for a couple days and it's not lost any air that I know of. I haven't checked it yet though. So that would be on this wheel. So I was like super bummed about that. And I was like, whatever, we'll start on the other ones. I just had bad luck with this one. We'll start on the other ones, get them done, and we'll come back to that one. So now, I then moved on to the second wheel. Or third wheel, actually. So I get to third wheel, same thing happens. The inner tube, or no, different thing happened. So the valve stem core, or the valve stem of the bicycle inner tube, I forgot to pay attention to. Completely forgot about it. You're actually supposed to make sure it's like pointed in the right direction so you can rip it off right before it seats. Completely forgot about it. Went perfect. I'm like geeked about it. I'm like, okay, this is sweet. That one went great. No problems. And then, of course, I hear a small leak. I'm like, are you kidding me? So then I start looking, and it's the valve stem stuck between the bead and the lip. So it's leaking through there. I'm like, great. I tried everything. Tried to get it to push out. Tried to do all kinds of stuff. So I'm like, okay. Well, that didn't go good at all, so I'm like, I need to break the bead. I got to break the bead somehow, so I'm thinking that breaking the bead is going to be easy. No, was not easy at all. So I'm like, okay, maybe if I put it on the truck, let all the air out of the tire, and kind of like turn the wheel back and forth, it'll eventually pop off the bead. Well, it did, but it popped off the back bead and not the front. So now I have a wheel. The bead broke on the back, but the front part still needs broke. That's why this is taped off, because we're about to try some sketchy stuff here in a second. Okay, so mind you, at this point I had been working on the wheels probably for about 7.5 hours straight. It was like 90 degrees out. I'm sweating like crazy. I did not take any breaks. The only breaks I took were to go and get inner tubes or whatever. So I went and bought a 4-pack of inner tubes. I think I ended up popping one or something like that along those lines. So then I'm like, okay, I can't get this bead broke. I'm going to at least finish the last wheel, and then I'll come back to the other 2 that are leaking. It is what it is. So I started messing with the last wheel, and I'm like, well, let me look up other ways, because obviously the inner tube is getting stuck. The first one was a different brand, and I think that honestly had something to do with it, on how well it worked. And the other 3 I tried to use were like a cheaper brand. I don't know. So I started looking up stuff, and I see this one video where they use spray foam, like your traditional like spray foam that you would insulate a house with. And they spray that around the gap of the wheel, and then they would put air in it, and that would work. So I tried that. It didn't really, it probably would have worked, but I just got impatient. Mind you, I've been working on it all day. I just want it done. So I'm like, okay, what if I just use a little bit of starting fluid and a little bit of, flame, and just pop this sucker on with the foam around it that'll help seal it off enough. 7.5 hours deep of stretching wheels. I guess my IQ dropped a little bit. Probably one of the dumbest things I've ever done in my life. Definitely not one of my brightest moments whatsoever. So of course I'm like, okay, whatever, I'll try it. So, the average person would probably know that this would happen, but I guess Zach just wasn't thinking straight. So I blow it up. It ignites, explodes, lights all the foam on fire, and from the force of the explosion, sprays the foam everywhere. Gets in on my face, my eyelids, my hair, my legs, my shirt. The whole side of the hard body, I'll show you in a second, covered in flaming foam. So I'm freaking out. I got flaming foam all over me. I have burns all over my legs, melted the hair off my legs. I was pissed. I was not happy. Terrible day. So at this point, I'm like, screw this. I'm selling everything. I'm going home. I'm done. I'm done forever. So I'm pissed at this point. So let me show you the aftermath. I actually just got done scraping the floors because it was all over the floor. But so all over the side of the hard body, literally all over the side of the hard body. You can still see where it was on the ground, some still. Okay, and then I'll show you my burn. That's the burns on my legs. I'm like pissed at this point. I go inside, whatever. And I come back out like an hour and a half later. I'm like, all right, I'm not gonna let this get the best of me. I'm already in this 10 hours. I'm getting this wheel done. So I take the last inner tube and I throw it on there. First try, stretches right on. I'm like, sick. It didn't get pinched in there, nothing. I'm like, all right, awesome. So I'm like getting ready to roll it around, and it's leaking from the bead again. I'm like, are you kidding me? Turns out the foam had dried and got between the lip of the wheel and the seal, so it's leaking on like 6 inches of the lip is just pissing air. So at this point I'm like, yeah, this is a sign, like I need to stop. I need to go inside. I just need to chill out. So that's what I did. And yesterday I didn't work on them because I had to make some decals for a couple people and get those sold and delivered. So we're out here today. I really wanted to see what the backs. I have two wheels on the front. The one of the wheels is the first one I mounted. The second one I mounted is on the front too. It doesn't seem to be leaking anymore. And then the one that has the foam stuck in it, it's leaking. It's actually leaking terribly bad, but I put some air in it just to throw it on the back, kind of see what the truck would look like. I have a 1-inch spacer, and my studs are longer than 1 inch, so they're sticking out a little bit, so the wheel's not 100% flush, and it looks like it has a little bit of camber. But I just wanted to bolt it up with the 1-inch spacers to see how wide it is, and it looks like once I trim those studs down, it'll be the perfect width, because right now it's wider than the front, it looks like. So I'll show you guys that real quick and show you how bad it's leaking. So this is the finished product. It looks sick. Like and it's fall right now. Like the temperature is perfect. Like I just want to be driving this thing so bad. You guys have no clue. Like I honestly just want to go drive this thing like more than ever. I just want to go cruise it, and I can't because this is not going the way I planned. And at this point, I'm so far in that I want to do it myself. Like I'm determined. I can do it myself. So I got a couple tricks up my sleeve to get the beads broke on this thing. And then from that point, it'll just be trying to clean everything up to make sure it seals. But as you can tell, it is hissing really bad from like down here, and you can see all the foam in the lip. Like, so you live and you learn. I'm an idiot. Comment below and tell me I'm an idiot because I know I'm an idiot. But I could not be more happy about how sick the truck looks. I will say I did not know they were going to be that stretched, but it's not permanent. Like I said, these wheels are just kind of like feeler wheels to get an idea of like what kind of wheel setup I want to run, what kind of tire size I want to run, because if I were to buy these brand new, I'd be pretty sick right now. So I did get a good deal on these though for the tread level they have. Like this one right here is like a good 50-60% tread, so good enough to last us through fall into winter until we park it. But really just want to get all this stuff fixed. So here in a second, I'm going to try to break the bead with this. I think my plan is, because I've tried everything just about to get this loose. I think the plan is I'm going to jack the truck up and try to use the ball hitch or something sharp to kind of break the bead on that. So I guess we'll see how it goes. If anything, it just won't break it loose. So I don't know. We'll see if we can pull some tricks out of our butt and get this stuff mounted up again. So stay tuned, guys. Trey is actually on his way over right now to come and get these tires because they will fit his truck. They're the exact same size and they're good backup tires and they have a decent amount of tread. He's actually going to trade me those for a brand new set of shocks for the hard body because we do need those. I was only going to sell them to him for 60 bucks anyway, so the shocks that he has are worth way more than $60. So it's kind of ended up being a pretty cool trade-off because I don't have to go buy shocks now. So with that being said, guys, I'm going to go ahead and try to break the bead on this wheel and hope for the best. I'm glad I did wait to film this though, because Saturday I was honestly feeling so down. Like I was so depressed that like I don't handle defeat well, because when I do try to do something, I do it with like everything I've got in me and I try my hardest. And so when it doesn't go as planned, I let it get the best of me, especially after working so hard all day and even trying to spend money to get them mounted. It was just extremely frustrating for me, especially after how excited I was to drive it and stuff. But things like this happen. That's one thing you got to keep in mind with cars and stuff, is it never goes as planned. And I should have known that, but getting the tires mounted was honestly the last thing I thought I'd run into. So, and we still have a lot more to do. Once we get the wheels and tires on, we got to see how bad it rubs and start cutting the fenders, which don't panic about, because don't forget we are getting a whole new front clip on this truck. So cutting the fenders is really not the end of the world, considering they're getting replaced over the winter anyways, and we're going to lift the truck so that it doesn't rub, yada yada yada. Let's get to breaking this bead so you guys don't have to hear me talk anymore.
You guys might know what we're doing.
Well, we got to break this here bead and we don't have anything strong enough to do it, so we're going to try to Tonka break it. That's the plan, at least. I have a feeling it's either going to drag the wheel or snap the board in half. If it hits your bumper, roll your window down. Nope. All right, so we just accomplished breaking the bead. Back up. We might have to break more of the bead. Dude, I don't know how that worked, but it worked.
I told you. That's what we always do.
Slow, 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 slow. All right, keep going. All right, you're good. Keep going. Got it.
Hey.
All good. Oh, it like popped up.
Sometimes you guys just need some redneck ingenuity. I don't even know how the hell you say that word. Ingenuity? Oh well. To get shit to work. All you need is the plywood and a fat Tacoma.
That would be a thumbnail right there. Snap ass fucking bowl joint. Well, back to square one. Alright guys, so as you guys saw, we managed to break the beads on the tires, which I am geeked about. Huge shout out to Trey for helping me out. That was super dope that we actually got to break them. And the fact that we broke the beads with another 22x14 full-blown fucking truck and didn't damage anything or break anything. Although it was very cringy, I won't lie, it was very cringy, but it was super sick. And so, with that being said, I'm going to leave you guys on a little bit of a cliffhanger. And you'll have to stay tuned for the next video to see the finished product of the first gen. I know we haven't really been dragging it out. This is the first video you guys have saw on the first gen in a while, so if anything, you should be happy. But I know this video was more of like a failure video, like what not to do when you want to stretch tires. But we're gonna try our best to get these mounted up and get them going. We got those shocks for the hard body, so we should be rolling the ball on that. Should be doing something with the livery kit on the hard body here soon too, so stay tuned for that. We got a lot of stuff that's slowly starting to come together. I know it's been a month or so, but things are coming together. So stay tuned for this ridiculous. This thing's going to be ridiculous looking. Some of you guys may not like it, but it is going to be ridiculous. I'm so excited. Like I said, huge shout out to Trey for helping me out. And stay tuned for the next video when we finally get these things on. Thanks guys so much for watching. Like and subscribe. Comment below what you guys think of the new setup. And as always, I'll see you guys in the next video. Deuces.